Happy Friday, everybody. Andy and Steve from WagerTalk.com. Welcome to the Road to Millions. Let's get this weekend started, man. It's Friday, late morning at the time we're recording this. We got a lot to get to. 4 NFL best bets. We're going to go over NBA notes and NHL notes. We'll go over our sleeper of the day and our stat of the day. But you guys know we got to start with some positive vibes here from everybody. Absolutely love the show. You guys are always killing it. Just wondering if you're still going to do NFL props. Absolutely, we're doing NFL props. Those are, we got one up right now. Love the Jordan Poole over turnovers play. Hit easily, as did the turnover prop from yesterday. So, are you going to be doing shows with Jay anytime soon? Jay just signed with Action Network, so I don't know if we're going to be able to do anything. I don't know if he's got exclusivity with that one. So, let's see. Y'all are my favorite YouTube channel. Thanks, James. Death by Diggs. Yep. Everyone's on Kincaid. Yep. Dalton Kincaid. Yep. The obvious play went over. Stephon Diggs did not. Flies over his reception, but not his yards. So, Pacers takeaway is that the Wizards are an over team. Yes, they are. I'm a Wizards fan, and they will be nothing if not entertaining. Absolutely rich. And then I believe we have a Cleveland fan that said, I saw the comment. It's a Cleveland unders. There it is. My hometown team is Cleveland. I have no insight other than I do think they'll be an under team. So, good stuff, guys. Leave us a comment and please hit that like button. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you're winning. Tell us how the Road to Millions is going, and tell us what you like for this weekend. And also, don't forget to get your Survivor picks in. I got eliminated. And Steve, I'll need your Survivor pick. I forgot to ask you what your Survivor pick is. We'll do that at the end of the show. But I get eliminated. The Bills burn me. F the Bills for more than one reason. F the Bills. So, all right. Let's get to 4 NFL best bets. Steve, I will let you go first. You have the honors. Let's fade that Aaron Jones, who probably just going to be hurt all year, right?
Yeah, it seems that way. He's been pretty banged up, and he's still dealing with a hamstring issue. He's questionable, but I think he plays, and if he does, I'm all over this under. He's went under in all 3 of his games that he's played in so far this season, and he hasn't had more than 9 attempts in a game yet. The Vikings have really stiffened up their run defense. They've only allowed 66 yards a game in their last 3. And we just watched them hold. I mean, Christian McCaffrey was banged up as well, but they just held him to 45 yards. If they can hold McCaffrey to 45, I'm counting on them holding a banged up Jones to under 42.5 this week.
Yeah, I mean, the guy, that hamstring injury, man, just lingers. Tough one for Aaron Jones. I'm going back to Dak Prescott over 15.5 rushing. When the game is close or when the Cowboys are losing, Dak runs. When the Cowboys are up big, he does not run. I went back and looked at the last 7 games. This goes back to last year. Last 7 games for the Cowboys. When the Cowboys are losing or it's a one-score game where they're up, he's flown over this total. Every game. Last 7 games. In the blowout games, under every single time. So it's rinse and repeat with this guy. If the game is close, he's going over. And I think this is a close game. You look at the Rams and their losses. So they lost by 7 to San Fran. Only lost by 3 to Cincinnati. Lost to 9 to Philadelphia, but they're one of the best teams in the league, and 7 to Pittsburgh. So those are all one-score games. I think this game is close. And because it's close, I think Dak Prescott rips off a couple of runs, so I'll take Dak Prescott over a rushing total in a close game. Steve, you're going Isaiah Pacheco, not rushing, looking at his receptions.
Yeah, I'm going to go over 2.5 receptions on Pacheco this week. He's becoming more and more involved in the Kansas City passing game. He's cleared this reception total in his last 2, 3 of his last 4, and that includes catching 6 of 6 targets against the Denver defense just 2 weeks ago. The Broncos allow the second most. They're very vulnerable to the running back position, whether it be on the ground or through the air. But they've allowed the second most running back receptions this season with 47, not too far behind the leader either. So give me the over 2.5 receptions on Pacheco for this week.
You faded Aaron Jones because he's hurt. The only thing worse than one bad ankle, Steve, is 2 bad ankles. Austin Eckler. This is a big total for Austin Eckler. He's got 2 bad ankles. Josh Kelly had a big long run, and They're facing a Bears team that's really good against the rush. Fifth against the rush, 29th against the pass. I think their numbers are good against the rush just because they're so bad against the pass that teams pass it. I think if Eckler's going to do damage, it's through the air. This is a huge total. I just don't see them running the ball a ton. I think this is a pass-heavy game. And I have to tell you, got to give credit to EQ when we were recording Prop It Up. I was talking about how this game is a passing game. And he said this game should be called the Badgent Pageant Show, which I think is great. This is the Badgent Pageant Show, this Chargers and Bears game. So I just don't think Eckler. I don't think Eckler does much damage on the ground here. So Aaron Jones under his rushing, Prescott over his rushing, Pacheco over his receptions, and Eckler under his rushing. Those are your four best bets. Let's go over our sleeper of the day and stat of the day, and then we'll get into our NBA and NHL notes. So, Steve, I'll let you go first here. Jordan Addison, like almost 10-1. What do we like about Addison?
So I dug this up on an article I was writing just a couple days ago, and Addison's I'm going Addison first touchdown here at plus 950. He's tied for the league lead in this category with three. I believe it's Myers, Jerome Brown, McCaffrey, the other players that are sitting on three. And we've seen Green Bay allow the opposing wide receiver to score the first touchdown in their last three games. Sutton, Myers, St. Brown all score first against them. Addison's becoming more and more involved in the Vikings passing without Jefferson. Scored in his last three games. I feel like he's the logical choice here. You could maybe look towards Hawkinson to put with him to like maybe split a unit on the two of them if you want to hedge it a little bit. But this is about my favorite first touchdown. I've been doing first touchdown articles all season, and this is about my favorite. We finally have a little bit of a data to lean on in this category, and this is about my favorite first touchdown play of the season so far, especially at these odds. So hopefully Addison scores first at plus 950.
Love it, Jordan Addison. All right, I pulled this one off of Twitter. Doesn't really help betting, but just one of these stunning stats. Andre Drummond has more 20-point, 20-rebound games than Jokic, Anthony Davis, Giannis, Joel Embiid, and Domantas Sabonis combined.
Wow.
This guy was an animal in his prime.
Yeah, he used to stack up those huge rebounding totals.
Stack him.
Yeah.
He's fourth in most 20 rebound games in the league. So I just thought that was amazing.
It's wild.
Andre Drummond. So, all right. So let's do some NBA and NHL notes. We'll start with the NBA. And I did a free video on the Nuggets and Grizzlies. It's on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. I think the Grizzlies are in trouble tonight. I think that team's not very good. Marcus Smart, 5 turnovers. 5 in the first game.
Yeah.
So Nuggets didn't look like a letdown. Didn't look like a letdown to me. And it's just amazing, man. They bring basically their entire team back except Bruce Brown. And they just haven't missed a beat. I know it's one game sample size, but just seeing how comfortable they were in their offense, it's just like, yeah, who's going to stop these guys outside of an injury? So, Nuggets and Grizzlies. And Steve, stop me if you got anything on any of these games here. So, Detroit Pistons and Hornets. I know you're liking LaMelo Ball over his assists, right?
Yeah, that's the way I'm looking in this one. I talked about his over 8.5 assists last game, and he got 10, and now we get the number down to 7.5 with basically normal juice. It's basically a spot too where you look at the total. It's relatively high. The Pistons have been a team in the past. They played some of those kind of like low scoring games where it was tough to go over these totals. But LaMelo was on the court for 31 minutes last game, and he shot poorly. So I'm really expecting him to he's always been a facilitator, but I expect him to become even more of a facilitator this season based on the talent he has around him now. So give me the over 7.5 assists on LaMelo again.
Heat and Celtics. Gosh dang it, Porzingis had too big of a showing. We lost. We got one game where he had over 1.5 as the 3-pointers. So dang it, Porzingis, we needed you to only make 2 3-pointers because that 1.5 now it's an alt line, right?
Yeah, I'm still looking. 2.5 at plus money, plus 105 isn't too bad. I know that he's not going to have games like that night in and night out. But you can get 1.5. I believe was negative 295. You could use that as a decent parlay piece with another play, maybe an alternate line somewhere else. But yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's obviously a tougher defensive matchup tonight as well. So you got to tread lightly there. But I do still like the Porzingis 3 look.
Knicks and Hawks. Alt line Brunson. Brunson's already in an official play for his assists on an alt line. Playing the Hawks, you also like Randall to score, right?
Yeah, I'm on Randall over 22 and a half points tonight. He only scored 14 against the Celtics. He also shot the ball 22 times, 5 for 22. This is just typical. This is what you're going to get with Randall. But when you get a low total like this, if he's going to shoot 22 times tonight, then I'm gladly going to take his over 22 and a half points. It's what you get with him, though. It's what
It totally is.
if he shoots decently, he'll fly over this total tonight again. And this is a defense that is a lot easier to score on than the Celtics. He's thrived against them in the past. It's not quite the same team, but he did score over the total in 3 or 4 against them last year.
Thunder and Cavaliers. I don't know. Not much to take away. I watched the Thunder team. It's still wait and see. They're kind of fun. Cavaliers. I don't know. I didn't take much away. I have nothing in this game.
This is one that I'm passing on as well.
Rockets and Spurs. Rockets coming out of the gates hot. 86 points in the first. What is this? 1984. What was that? 86 points. This is going to be a struggle for them. Just because of that, this 225 seems a bit high. If that's what the Rockets are going to do, Wembanyama foul trouble burned everybody by not getting over his blocks. I sniffed that one out. We didn't play his blocks, but here's the thing with his blocks is a lot of guys are just not going to shoot it when they get near him. So that's going to take away some. His points is 17 and a half. He had 15. He had 15 in limited minutes. And that's the problem with Wembanyama. I just don't know what his minutes are. He got in foul trouble. He's going to be clunky to start the year. In the end, I have nothing in this game. I will probably be paying attention to it just because I really am. I'm fascinated by this Rockets team, Steve. You know this. I'm fascinated. And I'm going to guess Ime's not excited about the 86-point performance to start the year. Is his patience already running thin?
It could be, yeah. With this young team, it might be. It might be.
Raptors and Bulls. Listen, I know all teams rely on their starters, but this Raptors team, man, all the production comes from the starters. I thought Siakam was good with his assists. We talked about looking at the assists for Dennis Schroeder. This point guard position on the Raptors, it produces a ton of assists. I went back and looked. Van Vliet flew over his assists last year, and now that Schroeder had a good game shooting the ball, but I think you're going to see a lot of value in his assists. And then Chicago Bulls, I don't know what to make of the Chicago Bulls yet. Kind of wait and see. It's the Vucevic, like Vucevic should be a verb. It's like when you can't pick a guy, like whenever you pick a guy to go over and he goes under, and then you pick him to go under and he goes over. That's Vucevic. Every time I've tried to pick a prop on that guy, he's absolutely effed me. So I'm staying away with this one, other than Dennis Schroeder props.
I just slightly lean the Bulls, giving the 2.5. Just the Raptors on the road. Generally they're so much better at home. They won on opening night. Bulls lost. I could see the Bulls bouncing back tonight with a small spread.
Brooklyn Nets, Ben Simmons had 19 rebounds and assists. It's juicy, but you can get it at 12 and a half. Points under, rebounds and assists over. I think that's going to be a real common theme with Ben Simmons. I think that's the best bet in this game. And then the Mavericks, no shot I'm laying -6 with Dallas. Not against anybody.
This is one I don't have a lot on. This is one I'm passing on myself.
Clippers, Jazz, absolute pass for me. You have anything on this one?
I'm looking at Westbrook over 2.5 turnovers in this one. We know how erratic he can be with the ball, and he went over on opening night. It's only it's pretty much regular juice here, so I'm going to look towards his over again tonight.
Warriors and Kings. I got to be honest. We have a season-long player prop, Chris Paul under 12.5 points. I'm terrified now. He took 6 3-pointers. Maybe when Draymond gets back, it'll be a little bit better. I thought he took a ton of shots, and got to be honest, I didn't think it worked very well for the Warriors. I on the road. I is this one of those things where you just take the other team when the Warriors are on the road? They were terrible on the road last year, and
Yeah,
even in the first game, I got to tell you, Steve, they looked old. I didn't think they looked very good. This is not the fast Warriors from years past. I think they're clunky.
I agree, and I am nervous a little bit about the Chris Paul season long prop, but I'm not nervous about the Warriors season win total under that we
Yeah,
have. I'm pretty confident in that one. And with the spread at only 2.5, a nice young Kings team at home. The Warriors 11-30 last season on the road. And this is close to a money line, so I look towards the Kings here, and I mean towards the over as well. Warriors don't play the defense; they play at home on the road. The Kings at home, they're gonna try to run. So it's a very high total though. So just like a lean there for me on that one.
Magics and Trailblazers. I think that I may have zero bets the entire season on the Orlando Magic. They just spread everything out to where you just never know. Like they're all going to score kind of around the same amount of points, and it's going to be a different distribution all over the place. I can't figure the Magic out. Trailblazers. I mean, just young team, and you notice that man. It's going to be the Scoot Henderson show there, huh?
Yeah, he's got the keys to the kingdom, and he played 36 minutes the other night. I'm looking towards his turnovers though, kind of in a sense fading. I'm over 2.5 on his turnovers, negative 130. It's one of my favorite plays tonight. He had 4 in his first game, and we have the one thing about the Magic that we do know is that they're pretty active on defense, and they forced 19 turnovers against the Rockets in their first game of the season. So one of my favorite plays of the night would be the Henderson over 2.5 turnovers.
Nice. There's your NBA look for today, guys. Our NBA plays are up. I want to remind everyone you can use the promo code ACCESS3, ACCESS3. Get you $20 off a 3-day pass. Today is the day to use it. Gets all plays for the weekend. College Best Bet is up. Formula One starts this afternoon. So all plays, all percentages, use the promo code ACCESS3. Gets $20 off a 3-day pass. Let's take a look at some NHL stats. We're 6-2. We took a loss last night on Draisaitl not having a point. So a couple of interesting things here. So we're taking a look at who's scoring goals. The Kings are scoring a lot. Detroit is scoring a lot. New Jersey's scoring a lot. So if you're looking at some of these teams that are scoring a ton of goals, those are them. And then, I mean, the poor San Jose Sharks. It's a gauntlet for them. We're going to get into their defensive stats, but we were noticing that I don't want to play them tonight, but you could use their alt line team total unders as some really good parlay pieces. This is a team that's barely scoring a goal a game. Now their schedule was tough, but they're pretty bad. And if you're looking at shots on goal, Colorado, Ottawa, Carolina, Pittsburgh, they're firing the puck a lot. And poor San Jose. 24 shots on goal a game. It's hard to get over the team total when you're not even getting 25 shots on goal a game. So St. Louis, Chicago in the bottom as well. So those are some stats on offense. And then we'll look at defense. Who's giving up a ton of goals? Boy, Minnesota, Carolina, and Edmonton. Boy, Carolina's the surprise. But we noticed something about Carolina that we'll get to in just a second. So if you're looking at teams that allow a lot of goals. These are your top ones, and of course, San Jose is in there as well.
I was looking towards goalie props, and it's just you can't guarantee the goalie's going to survive the game.
The guy did last night.
Yeah, he gets pulled, and then that kills your prop if you take an over on the saves or something or even the goals are different, but the saves.
Yeah. Who's not allowing goals? Man, Boston, Rangers, Vegas. Really, really good defense. So if you're looking for teams that are holding opponents under their team totals, these are them. And then we look at shots allowed in San Jose. 27 and a half shots on goal. Or I'm sorry, 37. So just these poor goalies, man, they're just getting pelted. Chicago's not far behind. Montreal, Minnesota, it dips off a little bit. But yeah. I mean, if you like player props, you got a guy playing San Jose, load him up on the shots on goal. And this is what's interesting. Carolina, even though they're giving up some of the most goals, second in shots on goal allowed. So
Wow.
That's alarming if you're Carolina. I mean, I guess it speaks to the defense is playing good and the goaltending has not been there. But yeah, they're not allowing very many shots on goal, and yet they're still giving up a lot of games. So let's take a look at props.cash here, and we can go over some props. We can see who's hot and who's not. So we'll look at shots on goal. Who's hot? Jeff Skinner's gone over 5 in a row. Pierre-Luc Dubois, Sebastian Aho, and Quinn Hughes. This one's kind of interesting because Quinn Hughes is plus money. He's gone over 4 games in a row. And then if we want to look at who's not hot, I do kind of like these. I like seeing these 2.5s and who's like terrible. So you got Michael Bunting, it's juice, but this Trevor Moore kind of has my attention here a little bit. So you got some of these guys that are Oshie for Washington. His under is -175, but he has not been going over his shots on goal. Did you have any shots on goal props you like?
Yeah, it's a little bit square, but I'm looking at Jack Eichel at 3.5. He's went over in 5 of 7 games with 6.9 attempts per game. And you mentioned the Blackhawks as a team that's allowing a lot of shots on goal per game. They allow 36 shots on goal per game, and he went over in 2 of 3 games against them last season. So it's a pretty much normal juice on that one. And I'm looking at his over 3.5.
All right. If we're looking at points, Rasmus Dahlin has gone over in 6 straight games. Then you got Fiala, Brock Cousins, Carlson, Ovechkin. This is crazy. You get those big names. Like, okay, you can take you can take this guy from Buffalo at -120. He's gone over 5 in a row. Ovechkin, big name, -215. Like it's amazing the value you get in the line value. So, any points that you like in this one?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was looking towards Rasmus Dahlin. Actually, you talked to him at the top of the list, but he's -145 to score a point, but he's only -115 for his over assists. And he's getting it done with the assists. He's actually had an assist in six of
Yeah.
7 games on the season, and he's actually assisted all 3 of the team's power play goals. So
Wow.
he's hugely involved in the power play. And then you got the Devils allowing, you mentioned them on the list as well, allowing 3.67 um, goals per game. So looking towards Dahlin's assist, I guess you could maybe play it safer with the points though, -145 if you wanted to spend the juice.
Yeah, so those are NHL props, and yeah, I think that should do it. So, all right, guys. So what do we have up? We have our NFL best bet that's up, NBA best bet is up, and our NCAA best bet is up. Use that promo code Access3, it gets $20 off a 3-day pass. So that's going to do it for us, guys. We're going to be back Sunday morning, get you ready for the NFL. Use that promo code, though, guys. Get you the best bang for your buck. You get all plays, all percentages across all sports. So good luck on all your plays, guys, and we will see everyone Sunday morning on the Road to Millions.
Good luck.